Hey everyone, it's Chad, N0YK. I'm down at my remote station and finally got some time to put together a quick video of this new 403A Power Genius XL three-way amplifier or 3x1 amplifier. If you watched my first video, I just did a quick unboxing video, and I really wanted to come back with a part two that really shows the software that's specific to this amplifier and just how it integrates into the overall station. So what I did is earlier today I did a basically I did a screen capture down at my house. I'm gonna incorporate that into this video, but I did a screen capture all the way from downloading to installing to configuring this amplifier, and then we ran some quick WSJT on 6 meters just to kind of give everybody a feel for how it was operating there at the house. But real quick, this amp's in its permanent location. You gotta love the clean aspect of it. Power cable, ground, Ethernet, and a coax input output, and that is it. Pretty straightforward. Not much else to really say about it. We've had it for several weeks and just love the thing. It's operated flawlessly. I'm going to be doing some more videos on it, and we're going to show different things like the fan at standard, contest, and broadcast, and just some items like that. So if you think of something you want to see on this brand new 403A amplifier, drop a comment, and we'll see if we can incorporate it into the YouTube channel. So with that, we're going to jump over to the screen capture, and you're going to get to see this software in action with this brand new amplifier. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back at the house at my remote location. I have a few things kind of set up here, but we'll get started. So first things first. Again, I just wanted to go over this again. Flex Radio does not have this software for the PGXL three-way on their website. You're going to have to reach out to 403A. I already did that. They provided back this URL here in this notepad. But you're going to install this software. So I already downloaded it, and I'll just show you. It's about 28 megabyte. We'll go ahead and install it. So you click it, you right click, run as administrator. It's going to walk you through the typical steps for installing something on Windows 11. We're going to create a shortcut on the desktop. Okay, so it is installed. I'm going to drop out of the downloads. I'm going to move this right over here. And so we have the software installed. I have my 8600. It's booted, obviously. We're on 6 meters, and we are connected via a microwave link down to the remote station. We had some storms and stuff today, so the link is a little degraded because of the weather, but I think we have enough signal to pull this off. That does happen from time to time when we have some weather roll through here. The private microwave link isn't as good as like a piece of fiber or copper directly to the location. So this is all those relays I've showed you in previous videos, to where I can control different pieces of equipment remotely from my computer, from my cell phone, from my iPad, you name it. I can control it. We're going to go ahead and boot the 403A PGXL. And what I've noticed is it takes about 10 seconds, something like that, for this amp to boot up. And what you'll see on the screen is it goes through a number of checks as it's booting up. So about 10 seconds is what I've found it normally takes. So we'll give it a second here. All right, so we have it. It's booted. And so the next thing you'll do, this is very similar to the SO2R software. It's very similar. So we're going to connect to it. Okay, so we're connected, and what's cool about this screen is you can resize it. It doesn't really pixelate or have any issues, if you want to go bigger. I actually run this as my primary power meter indicator, I guess, remotely. I also run it locally at the remote station. The Flex Radio, as we see here, has the integrated Power Genius XL meter, which is really nice to have. And one of the added benefits of staying within the Flex or 403A equipment line is you have this beautiful integration of these different pieces of equipment. We're going to see the same thing up here on the right as we see with this software. Both do pretty much the same thing. There's a little bit of more functionality that I'll show you through the software, but they literally do the same thing. So first things first, we're going to go into device settings, and it takes just a second to load. Device name, I have it as DHCP. And one thing to note out is I have this on a separate VLAN. So I have several VLANs on my network. This is on one of my protected VLANs. So I don't have like the Internet of Things and other, what I would say is unsecure devices on this 2.10 subnet. Try to keep the flex gear on the protected subnet for what that's worth. Don't have any CAT or CIV configurations enabled, obviously, because I'm running an 8600. That would be for the Yaesu and ICOM users. This is the Flex radio, so I'm just for privacy reasons, I'm going to blur out the serial number of my 8600 and the amplifier. I really don't know if it's really that sensitive, but I know the Flex guys, when they're posting videos, they always blur out the serial numbers. So I'm going to follow that same approach. So you do need to select your radio in the drop down, and then antenna 1 is what I'm set on, and I'm going to show you what the antenna situation looks like, and obviously PTT via LAN. So this is the biggest change with this software with the 3-way or 3x1 amplifier. This is where you go in and basically hard code what antenna port the PGXL will switch to based on the band that the 8600 is listening on. And so for now, because I use all the coaxial relays that I've showed you in the previous video, I have all of the outputs going to antenna 1 for all of the bands, 160 through 6 meters. Though in the future, and this is probably going to be a winter project on a cold day, is I might go ahead and move over my 160 and 80 meter dipoles. My 160 dipole is it's seasonal, so I only have it up in the winter months, but I might put those on antenna 1 and still use a coaxial relay to switch those. And then for antenna 2, it's probably going to be my Mosley TA33 for 10, 15, and 20 meters. And then antenna 3 would be my 6 meter 5 element Yagi, which we're going to actually run today. And the reason I would do that is just purely trying to simplify things, and the fact that the system, the Flex 8600 and the PGXL will auto switch to the correct antenna based on what band I'm on. That's just a little bit of a convenience, not having to pull up the Shelly dashboard and make sure you're on the right antenna with the coaxial relay arrangement that I have. So something I'm going to think about, and if I do that, I'll make another video just showing everybody how it worked out. And then the last tab, again, antennas is the biggest tab, the biggest change within the within this software specific to the 3-way. These are all standard. You got your LED intensity, your fan mode. I have mine on standard, but you do have the ability to set it to contest or broadcast. Obviously, those other two options have a lot more fan noise associated with them. One thing I did want to point out is these antenna switches on the software, they're strictly indicators. There is not a software ability to switch through these. If you click on them, nothing happens. So just kind of pointing that out if anybody had any questions on that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to run a little FT8, and so give me a second. I'm going to get that opened up, and we'll show you the amplifier in action. Okay, so I have WSJT-X loaded. We are on FT8. Select the Yagis and then the 6AM5, which is my M² 6 meter Yagi. And again, it's just a couple clicks, but if I run a coax for my 6 meter antenna to the antenna 3 port on the back of the amplifier, I wouldn't even have to do that. I would just strictly have to switch to 6 meters, and it would automatically switch to that antenna. We're going to scroll down here. I'm going to turn my power down. Usually the first couple calls, I like to run a little bit lower to give that amp a chance to warm up. Looks like we do have a few signals out there. And so we're going to activate CQ just in a second, let it get past this sequence. That way we're not catching it in the middle of the sequence. All right. So I do not, one thing I want to show you is I do not have the amp activated. So we're running maybe 5 watts, if that, right now to the 5 element. And again, one of the convenience with this integration with between the Flex 8600 and the PGXL is the ability to put the amp into operate. So you can see the screen changed over here and the amp is ready to go. We'll probably see about 100 watts out on this next sequence. There we go, about 128 watts. Again, just beautiful being able to see the power output, the SWR, the current, and then the temperatures of the amplifier. Let it go one more sequence, and then I'll kick it up a little bit more power. Okay, so let's see here. We're about 125 watts. You can tell the microwave link is not wanting to cooperate. A little bit of latency on the microwave link. It's not terrible, but it is noticeable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to 15. 15 is going to get us probably just under 500 watts. And one thing I want to point out is these amplifiers, it's pretty known among the Flex community that these amplifiers are not rated at 1500 watts digital on 6 meters. So just keep in mind, even though they're advertised as legal limit on digital modes 160 through 6 meters, they are not. Flex will tell you straight up that you will damage your finals, the 2 finals in this amplifier, if you run it at 1500 watts on like FT8. What they recommend is 750 watts or less. So just keep that in mind. I don't know why they advertise it like this, but they do. And I think it's only specific to the 6 meter band where you have a little bit of a limitation on the power output. But honestly, the difference between 750 watts and legal limit on 6 meters probably isn't going to make that much difference. So I usually run it about 20% on the RF power on the 8600, which will get me just a little over 500 watts. And I kind of figure, just based on a little bit of coax loss math, that right around 500 watts is making it up to that 5 element M squared Yagi. So we're losing maybe 60 watts or so in that coax run up to that Yagi is just a little rough math. So about 550, and that thing will run pretty consistently. You're going to hear the fans kick up to where it gets pretty noisy in the shack. Obviously, I'm running remote, so I don't hear that, but I have indications on temperature and stuff. And you're gonna hear these fans really start to kick up, running at even 500 watts. The other thing I wanted to point out is typically when I'm running long sessions on 6 meter FT8, I will go ahead and kick this up to contest. Contest is going to kick that fan speed up pretty considerably. I'm going to be I'm going to be pushing a short out to my YouTube channel here in the next couple of days. It's going to show the difference in the fans. So contest is one setting. And then broadcast, the fans go all the way 100%, the best I can tell. And the PGXL sounds like it's literally going to take off. I mean, there is a lot of air movement on the broadcast mode. But again, we're running remote. We don't hear any of that. Looks like we do have somebody calling us, possibly. Ooh, NC6K. So that's not us. So this will be our last transmission calling CQ. But in a nutshell, this is kind of, the peek at the software. That was the whole purpose of this video, is just showing everybody the software, the differences. And again, this isn't, with this being such a new amplifier and stuff, I just wanted to show everybody the differences in software and just what it looks like for the 3-way option. One thing I did want to point out is I bought this amplifier back in September. And at the time, there were 6 in stock, and I think they literally got 6 from 403A late August. So I bought the first one from DX Engineering stock. Within a couple of weeks of me posting my video on that amplifier. And I think Flex, or not Flex, but DX also did some advertising on their website. That stock went from 5 to 1. So I looked last night, there was one amplifier, one 3-way amplifier left. And again, these amplifiers are $500 off the SO2R option. So, you know, $500 is $500. And if you don't need the SO2R option, why pay $500 for it when you can have more flexibility with 3 antenna ports? At least that's how I look at it. So with that, I do want to extend, if anybody wants to see anything specific with this amplifier, with the software, with how it integrates into the station, please drop me a comment. Looks like the NC6K station is calling me. But if anybody wants to see this, please, see some other functionality, some other videos on this amplifier, please let me know. I'd be happy to record it. And with that, we're going to sign off and say 73, and we'll catch you on the next video.